Good afternoon, happy stampers, and welcome to my happy stamping studio. My name is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome everybody today. So, we are still working with some of my favorite stamp sets that will be retiring at the end of this catalog year. And so today I'm going to be doing a card using strips of paper and the Happiest Day stamp set. This is a stamp set of 17 stamps which have sentiments and some rainbow images, a star, and dragonfly. We're actually going to be using the dragonflies today. So we're going to be using this stamp set. We are going to be using the 2024 to 26 designer series paper. The ink pads we're going to be using are the Shy Shamrock, Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Memento. The cardstock is here, and as you can see, I did some paper strips in 3 colors. The card base, I adapt these. I do different colors depending on the strips that I use. And then we're going to be using the 2024 to 26 in color resin dots. Okay, we're going to get started here. We're going to start with putting our paper strips onto this piece here. I like to do this first. So you can get the measurements over on my blog at judystamps.com. And I'm just going to decide on the layout, on how I want it. You can adapt it to however you want. I'm going to do it in this way. So this one, I'm going to line up to that top edge there. And you can use either side of your designer series paper. I love our designer series paper because all the sheets coordinate with each other within that pack. And of course, the in colors all coordinate with each other. So that made it super easy. I love the several different patterns that are in this year's pack. We have the circles with the backside being like this. Then we have some stripes and a leaf pattern, beautiful. And any of those patterns would work with this. Okay, so I'm going to line, I lined up the 2 end ones first. Then I'm going to go in with this one. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of a space there. Okay, about a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, then I have a strip of my card base, which is the Summer Splash, and this strip here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail the ends, and I cheat a little bit on this. I just kind of bend it. I don't give it a crease, although you could, because we're going to be covering up part of that. And so we're just going to go in the center and then just bring up each side to that. That way, both your ends are the same. Trying to keep this on camera so you guys can see. So there we go. So this is going to go here, and you're going to see that it does go past on each end. And I'm just going to center this in that opening. Okay. So we have that like this. And I'm just centering it in there. The end of the banner is going over a little bit. Okay, we're going to set that to the side. Now we're going to take the scrap of basic white and we're going to take our dragonfly. We're going to ink that up with Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp them on here, and I'm going to get 3 of them on this piece. You could use any basic white that you have. If you have several different scraps, you could use those. Close this up, wash off our stamp. Okay, now I'm going to do each of these in a little bit different color. I am going to do 3 color. So I'm going to do these 2 like this. Then I'm going to use this one with the shamrock and the peach pie with the shamrock. So I'll have 3 color combinations. So I'm going to take the wings. I'm going to take the top wings first. And when you do these, you want to make sure that the curved part is going with the curved part of the wing, which means for this one, the curved part is at the top. Okay. And then we're going to do the peach. I'm not going to close these up because I'm going to be stamping the other ones. We're going to do the peach there. And then we're going to do the shamrock. Okay, so we have those 3 done. Now we're going to come in with the small wings, and the small wings, the curve is at the bottom. So we are going to do this one here, and I am going to do, let's see, we will do this one here. So we're going to have 3 different color combinations here, and then we'll do the peach here. So I've used each color 2 times. Okay, next we're going to fussy cut these. Let me close up my ink pads. So we don't have a die or a punch for this. A lot of times I just cut this, or I just stamp it right onto my card, but I want these to be floating or flying in between those strips that we've got. So I'm just moving my paper. Don't move your scissors. Move my paper around and cut. I leave a little bit of a white edge around the edge of this. Sometimes that helps either blend it into your background if you are placing it on white so that edge disappears, or if you're placing it on top of a colored cardstock, it helps that image to stand out. And I don't worry about if it's even or not. You're not going to notice that a whole lot. So there's one. Let's start with this one and go up. This is a chore that I do a lot of times if I'm making multiple cards, like at Christmas time, or I make a batch of birthday cards and I'm doing several that are similar. I will stamp all my images that I need to fussy cut, and I sit in front of the TV with my husband and I fussy cut my paper. I am one that does not like to just sit and watch TV. I have to be doing something. I'm going to tell you a little story about dragonflies. My granddaughter and I, several years ago, I want to say it was probably, she's 11, so it was probably 6 or 7 years ago. Her and I took a girls' trip up to our place up in the UP, and we went to the local lake to just wade in the water and if she wanted to swim. And when we were there, we saw all these bugs along the edge of the water. We saw a bunch of bugs swimming in the water, and then on the timber along the edge of the water. We didn't know what they were, and we were looking at them and had no idea. I took some photos. I've done a scrapbook page of it, actually. Took some photos of all these bugs, and nobody could tell me what they were. Well, when everybody else came up, her brother and her parents and my husband all came up that weekend, we went back to that same beach, that same lake, and we had all these dragonflies around. Well, and then we see these dragonflies on the wood, and they were they had hatched and they were drying their wings. So all these bugs that we saw were dragonflies, and this is the first time I had seen dragonflies actually be born, or not actually be born, but come to life. I had no idea. They started out in the water, and we're going to put this up here, and then crawl out of the water, and then they dry their wings and they fly off. So it was just an amazing weekend for us. Okay, we're going to do these again. Let me see. This one last was in the peach, I believe. So we're going to do that. I'm going to make sure it's cleaned off. Do this one in the peach. Just like that. And then we'll do the smaller wings in the petunia pop. So that's just a little story about some dragonflies. And we talk about that every time we go up. And we've gone up before, several times since then, and in the spring, and we have never seen this happen again. So it was I told her, I said, it's kind of like a once in a lifetime thing that you experience. So I am using the Summer Splash. So that brings in the 5th color. 1, 2, 3, the 4th color in this. What I didn't use Pretty in Pink. So I folded that, burnished it. We are going to add this to our card base. And here we go. This is going to go right in the center there. Such a happy card. In my classes this month, we're actually doing a similar card, and I'll bring that. Oops, sorry. I'll show that to you in the end. So stay to the end if you want to see that. Now, I did forget to punch out or show you that I am using a circle, and this is our 2 1/4 inch circle. And with this circle, I'm going to emboss it. So we're going to get our mini cut and emboss machine out. I'm going to stamp my verse, which I need to choose a verse. I think I'm going to choose Thinking of You Today and Every Day, which is this one right here. We'll grab our Memento ink. And we're going to put it off to one side just a little bit, and not quite centered. Even pressure. Look at a little dot on there. That's okay. Okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to emboss it. And we're using this die. I just love this die. It's a happy die with like daisy-like flowers and arches. So I'm going to put this down, put that. So we're using the number 1, our embossing folder, and then the number 3 plate to emboss in our mini cut and emboss machine. And it should go through like butter. And as you see, it's all embossed. Okay, let's bring our card back over and we are going to start assembling. So I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So let's take our dimensionals, make sure we put enough of them on so it does stand up. So let me know how many of you have experienced seeing dragonflies change from their bug-like status. Samantha told me, Grandma, they're just like butterflies. And they are, except they weren't in a cocoon. Okay, we're going to put this down just a little bit. And then we're going to take our 3 dragonflies and put them on the front. This layout, you guys, you can do use with just about any set. And you can, I'm going to put these on the wings. I should have grabbed the minis. And change it up. You could change the circle to a square. You don't have to put the circle on. Just play with it. So I'm going to remove these and let me see where I'm going to put them all. I'm going to put this one here, just like that. These two have the petunia pop on them, so I'm going to be putting these near the bottom. Put that one up there, and we're going to have this one flying down, maybe in the other direction, like that. Okay, that looks pretty balanced. Now I'm going to take our resin dots and put some dots on here. And I want to use every color except for the pink. So I'm going to put this one here and do it the opposite. I'm going to have the pink down here because that's up there. And let's do these other two colors. Oh, I have one left of the summer splash up here. Okay, so that's the front of our card. Now the inside of our card, we just need to glue in, and I will put the sentiment in later. And you could put this either way. You could put it down there. I want it up in this corner, just like that. Okay, so that is our card for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And take a look at our last chance sale. Don't forget, those products are going quick, and once they're gone, they are gone. Until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping!